Welcome back to Peepo Coin Channel, Crypto Family. It's wonderful to see everyone once more. No matter where you are in this great globe of ours, I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. We're delving deeply into several important XRP developments today that you must be aware of. First and foremost, and this is crucial, Ripple has delivered yet another warning that we must all heed. A significant increase in phony live YouTube videos attempting to defraud people occurred during and after the latest swell occurrence. I want to be really clear about this. You won't ever be asked to send X drug to Ripple. Keep an eye out, people. I'm telling you now that no one, is going to double your cryptocurrency back. Avoid anyone who makes such a commitment. The problem is that if something seems too good to be true, it most likely is. And for heaven's sake, please refrain from interacting with those commenting bots. They are there to steal your hard-earned cryptocurrency. They are not your pals. Listen, if you lose your cryptocurrency to crooks, I can't assist us all become wealthy. Let's keep each other safe because we are on this path together. I would like to offer some amazing information regarding the security of digital wallets that was recently issued by the National Cryptocurrency Association. Why cryptocurrency wallets are so much more than just storage is explained here. They are your stronghold, with integrated security mechanisms that genuinely function, fingerprint and facial recognition for safe access, and several verification processes that go far beyond simple passwords. Storage that is encrypted, making it impossible to read your private keys. Backup and recovery phrases will ensure that you are never locked out of your device in the event of an emergency. Distinct transaction codes that confirm your transactions without disclosing your private data. Crypto wallets are extremely safe for managing your digital assets because of these security levels. They provide you with the assurance and command over your investments that you are due. Here's something important now. Custodial wallets, non-custodial wallets, and hot wallets differ significantly. In the end, though, you have to remove your cryptocurrency from the exchangers. This is particularly important if you're keeping your cryptocurrency on exchanges that don't adhere to anti-money laundering, KYC, or Know Your Customer, AML regulations. Why? Because many of these non-compliant exchanges will vanish overnight once we have clear standards, which is really close. Keep in mind the golden rule rather than your crypto or keys. Speaking of regulations, Paul Atkins, the chair of the SEC, just gave us some really important advice. Fair crypto rules are now a primary priority, he acknowledged. They had. Basically, though, the sector has been functioning in a fog for the past, a number of years. They were unable to fully understand the SEC's requirements and how the outdated regulations governing paper filings, stock certificates, and other such matters could be modified to fit this new technology. Right now, we're discussing digital assets in that kind of chain. In order to work with our sister authorities, particularly the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, we must first return our attention to the fundamentals, such as what securities are and other related topics. Therefore, if you split up the taxonomy I describe, which is obviously my opinion, and we'll work through notice and comment regulation on all of this in the end. However, if you have digital tools, digital commodities, digital collectibles, and tokenized securities, then the latter are clearly securities while the first three are not. Determining what constitutes a security and what does not is the tricky part, which is what we are attempting to accomplish. The Wild West days of cryptocurrencies are coming to an end. He's basically telling us, and what do you know? Actually, that's wonderful news. One thing is meant by clear regulations, adoption by institutions. Additionally, institutional adoption of cryptocurrencies directly contributes to their broad adoption. We've all been waiting for this moment. This is where the crypto community got heated. When someone chose to attack XRP, Ripple's CTO and the entire XRP community completely destroyed them. I'll explain this to you. A critic wrote, "Greetings, XRP Maxis. Even though I'll never fully get what your blockchain accomplishes, I will always admire the enthusiasm needed to make it seem like it does something. So keep working hard." David Schwartz, however, was not amenable to that bullshit. He retaliated with this ingenious reply. You received a response to your question on the true function of the blockchain. You replied that there was no way to generate passive revenue from it. Can you be your own bank with the blockchain's no middlemen philosophy? Or do I not give a damn if I can't tax others to make a passive profit? Boom. David got it exactly right there. David is drawing attention to something important. We're creating a future where everything won't be controlled by middlemen. We will become our own banks as XRP holders. That's the whole idea. What irritates me the most? These detractors constantly attempt to portray blockchain technology and cryptocurrency as not achieving anything groundbreaking. However, as we speak, blockchain technology will serve as the cornerstone of the entire shift from traditional finance into the digital era. It's up to some people to choose to remain mired in the past. However, we're making progress. Speaking of going forward, the following amazing news fully exemplifies this shift. In accordance with the Genius Act, BNY Mellon recently introduced a money market fund designed especially for stablecoin reserves. The kicker is this. Recall that BNY Mellon was chosen by Ripple to serve as the main reserves custodian for RLUSD, their enterprise-grade stablecoin designed for practical use. This indicates that BNY Mellon is putting itself in a position to act as the guardian of these significant stablecoins. Folks, this is a huge institutional validation. This is how stablecoin backing operates. BNY Mellon will be the ones holding the US dollars when you are backing your stablecoin one-to-one with them. And you know what? They and Ripple are already working together. In fact, Patrick mentioned this to me this morning during my conversation with Brad Garlinghouse. Furthermore, his comparison of the current state of affairs to the early days of the internet is simply astounding. People are excited, they are appreciative. They enter and express their gratitude to us, but they ought to express their gratitude to David and President Trump for establishing the direction and tone. And our only purpose is to carry out. The leadership sets the direction, but we're on the front lines attempting to guide it forward. Patrick, do you know how it feels? Al Gore and President Clinton, if my memory serves me well, got it right with the telecom bill in the 1990s, which paved the way for the internet to take off. We seem to be in the era of blockchain and cryptocurrency. I believe it to be precisely correct. When I was speaking with Brad Garlinghouse this morning, he brought that up. The point we were making was that we need to put in place the right safeguards, the rails here to make sure we're not overburdening the industry, and that we're providing an efficient frontier of regulation that will allow these markets to flourish. And they did exactly that back then. It was a foundation layer of regulations and rules of the road that allowed the internet industry and everything that was made possible by the internet to grow there. However, I don't believe anyone can accurately forecast what the future of blockchain and cryptocurrency will hold in 20 years. Therefore, we must ensure that there is proper play in the joints and that the regulatory framework can adjust to all of the future developments that we are currently unable to foresee. Thank you for viewing. Goodbye.